Shalom, Israel, Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Barakatham. All praises to the Most High for another day. I pray that He continues to be with you in your studies, um, and that He puts His protective hedge around His people, man. Right now, we are witnessing, maybe for the first time during my experience as an Israelite, a great falling away. We are experiencing that. We experiencing brothers leaving to become Christians. We seeing brothers leaving to become damn Buddhists or whatever they want to become. And you're a Christian, you may as well be a damn Buddhist. So we experiencing people leaving for these various reasons. And what we got to do is this. We got to sit back and we got to make sure that our screws is in tight, man. You know, it's not even really amazing to see people fall off because what we believe is so extraordinary. It got to be the Most High. They got us believing this. It got to be. Let's sit back and talk about this for a second. So we believe that we, the Most High's chosen people, sent on this earth to be a light unto the nations and to bring them and to bring them into subjection under us, so that this world can be in the right order, so that we can serve the Most High the way that we need to. That's what we believe. That's a spectacular thing to believe. It's an incredible thing to believe. And this is why the nations can't grasp it. This is why other people can't grasp it within the nation. Because it's truly the spirit within us, man. So give thanks to the Most High that He got you in here. All praises to the Most High that He's waking us up even yet to this day. And just know that everybody who wakes up is a miracle. Because this ain't no regular stuff. Like, Christianity is very easy to believe. All you got, there's God, and then all you got to do is believe in Him. And He loves you. Cool. A lot of people may be motivated to believe that. What we're dealing with is we dealing with truth. And the truth is always difficult to believe. Okay? So, but stepping off of that subject, what I really wanted to deal with today was meditation. I've been doing this all week. And we got to make sure we're doing this. This is in our Israelite diet, man. You're supposed to be meditating on a scripture at all times. Why? Because your brain changes when you meditate. Scientific research from neuroscience and different places demonstrates that your brain actually changes its structure and its form when you meditate or pray on particular subjects and subject matter. So if we meditating and studying the scriptures, why we don't think that that's possible for us? Let me tell you something. So this week, and then I'm gonna pull out my precepts. But for this week, what happened was this: I meditated one night. I meditated on the scripture so long, I don't really believe I went to sleep. Like, I meditated on Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Now, when I read this earlier this week, I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Because I love meditating. I love meditating on the scriptures and just trying to pick apart the little subtle pieces of parables. The small things that a lot of people may not see, because the Most High got it designed where after you meditate on something, your brain conforms around that and you see it differently than everybody else see it. Great example of that. And then I promise you I'm getting into these precepts, but I just got to demonstrate this real quick. Great example of that is this. They have brain games on the iPad. And, you know, when you first start playing the brain game or whatever, it's difficult for you to keep up. You know, your high score might be 200. After a week of doing that brain game, that same brain game, your high score gonna be in the thousands because your brain has shifted in order to conform to the requirements of the game. So you, boom, you good now. You good now. And it's the same thing with multitasking. When you first start a job and you have many tasks to multitask on, it's hard for your brain to concentrate because you're not used to this type of information. But me being a person who I have to multitask in my job every day, I got 2, 3 screens open. I got people calling. I got emails coming in. I got chat messages coming in. People walking into the office to ask questions. So when you're doing that, it keep you on point, right? And then after you done that for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, now you, boom, boom, you just doing everything because you done got good with it. Your brain has conformed. We got to do that with the scriptures. That's what this verse is saying. It seemed like this is some spooky stuff that we believe in, but it's not. The Most High designed our brain to react in this way. So I'm going to read it again, and let's look at it. So I write 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High. You gave your mind to the law. Remember, there's a war in your flesh. There's a war in your members between your mind and the law. This is what Paul describes in Romans. There's a war going on, and it's an unseen war, and your mind is constantly fighting against the things of the spirit. Your flesh and the spirit, boom, all day. But when you give your mind to the law of the Most High, and you occupy in the meditation thereof, you will seek out the wisdom of the ancient. You'll just be sitting back wondering, man, what did he mean by that? And you'll get lost in that. You'll lose time in that. So what I did was that night I was meditating on this scripture, this particular scripture, and it felt like I didn't even go to sleep. Like I literally was just laying on my bed thinking about this scripture all night. It felt like I only got maybe 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, and I actually saw the sunrise. But when I woke up, it was like I was asleep all night. You know what I'm saying? Like I never missed no sleep that night. And so it came into my mind that I was meditating. I was truly meditating on the scriptures. Let's jump down to verse 2. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. You will keep those sayings in you because you meditated on it so long. And your brain actually, I have all the research. And what I did was I looked up research papers and thesis papers by PhDs and so forth, and neuroscientists in the field that demonstrate that your brain changes depending on the activity that you focus on the most. And so you have nerves that go from one side of your brain to the other side of your brain. They help communicate ideas from this hemisphere of the brain to that hemisphere of the brain. It's called interhemispherical communication. And so this side of the brain is communicating with that side of the brain, right? And this side of the brain functions with the abstract, and this side of the brain functions with the concrete. The difficulty in understanding the spiritual realm is because it's two separate parts of the brain, and this connection has not been made on that particular idea yet. When you meditate on these scriptures, science has proven that new connections are made interhemispherically in the brain. And so what we have to be able to do is we have to be able to see these concrete parables in a metaphysical way. That's the way that we understand the spirit. That's the way that we can, that's why you ever notice the best teachers, man, the best teachers in Israel, what they do is they'll bring out a scripture that you've seen before, but they break it down a way that you've never seen it. It's not about being deep. It's because they have a different point of view, because their brain made a connection that your brain did not make. And that's the reason why sometimes a camp is so powerful, because not even sometimes, all the time, a camp is powerful because you got 30 other brothers with you that all see the scriptures a different way than you do. You talk to this brother, he enlighten you to something. You talk to that brother, he enlighten you to something. You know what I'm saying? You talk to this brother, you enlighten him to something. And now the understanding has multiplied across the board. And so that's the power of meditation in these scriptures. We've also been commanded to meditate. I'm going to deal with that real quick, and then I'm going to jump off. Wisdom chapter 8 and 8 as well. I want to hit that. Wisdom 8 and 8. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, dealing with wisdom, and conjectureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speech, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times. So, once again, it kind of goes back into what Sirach 39 and 1 was saying, because when you meditate on these scriptures and you preoccupy in the meditation thereof, it becomes a part of your mental process. Now, everything that happens, you see it through the lens of what you've been meditating on, instead of through the lens of the flesh, because you gave your mind to the law of the Most High. And also, let me jump down to Proverbs 3 and 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. What does it mean for your heart to keep the commandments? Your heart keeping the commandments is meditation. Your heart keeping the commandments is dwelling on something. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if you can get it here first, you get it in your spirit first, then your automatic response in the physical form is going to be to do the commandments. Your second nature is going to be, boom, commandments. You know what I'm saying? Because you've meditated on it so long that to you it's natural to do that. It's natural to act in that way. All right. And of course, Deuteronomy 6. This will be my last one for meditation. Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Oh, let's start at 6. Deuteronomy 6 and 6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as a frontlet between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. So this is the reason why I say the mark of the Most High is dealing with your character and meditation on in what you put your energy towards, because you're gonna write them on your hand in the frontlet between your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And how are you gonna do that? Because you literally concentrating on it all the time. And like I said, it's your thought and it's your first action, because that's just what you've been doing. You've been meditating on that junk so hard, man. So that's all I got for today. Y'all brothers, make sure you meditate in these scriptures. Deuteronomy 6 is a commandment. So you have to do that. We honestly, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times we as Israelites, we harp on telling people to wear the fringes. We harp on telling people to do this and telling people to do that. Make sure you don't cut your beard, brother. You gotta wear your fringes, brother. And all commandments are important because the Most High commanded them. To me, the weightier things of the law is this right here. Because the Most High is teaching you how to get it in your spirit. He's teaching you how to make this second nature to you. Because you teaching it to your children diligently. You talking of it when you sitting in your house. You talking of it when you walking by the way. And when you lie down and when you rise up. All right? So do that. It will manifest itself in your spirit. Your brain will conform. And you will be able to see things and connections that you were not previously able to see. And that's all I got, man. So I'll come back and do another study on meditation one day. But that's all I got. Y'all brothers stay up. Shalom.